leadership was also. FBI has launched an investigation into controversial Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Dane Placco has been following allegations of her misspending and joins us now with an update. Dane.
Yeah, we've been reporting for nearly 2 years on allegations of corruption surrounding Henyard.
The ongoing scandal surrounding Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, has drawn significant public attention, particularly since the FBI launched an investigation into her alleged misconduct. The inquiry primarily focuses on the Tiffany Henyard Foundation, with federal agents scrutinizing financial transactions exceeding $10,000. As more evidence emerges, concern among Dalton officials, particularly trustees, continues to grow, although specific details of the investigation remain undisclosed. Reports indicate that FBI agents have been questioning prominent Dalton residents. This suggests that the probe is extensive, reviving long-standing accusations that Henyard may have exploited her political office for personal gain. While these claims have previously affected her reputation, the involvement of federal authorities has given them greater legitimacy. Even in its early stages, the investigation is already impacting Henyard's political career, with public confidence in her leadership declining. Once celebrated as a super mayor for her efforts to reform Dalton, Henyard now finds herself at the center of a scandal that threatens her legacy. As the inquiry unfolds, uncertainty looms over her future in politics and how the public perceives her leadership. Many Dalton residents are now questioning her integrity, fearing that further revelations may emerge. The investigation is also causing shifts in political alliances, as officials who were once her supporters begin to distance themselves from the controversy. Allegations under investigation include the misappropriation of public funds, particularly hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on police overtime allegedly for her personal security, as well as extravagant out-of-town travel expenses. The FBI's inquiry has reportedly intensified after a public official informed Fox 32 that the investigation remains active, with agents questioning several influential individuals, including the owners of a local bus company and a former village employee. These interviews have raised concerns about the administration's role in denying business licenses, suggesting potential political interference in local business operations. One of the most troubling aspects of the investigation is the possibility that political motives influenced the approval or delay of business licenses. Several Dalton business owners have alleged that Henyard's administration deliberately withheld permits as political retribution against those who did not support her electoral campaign. For example, Boone Wood, the owner of a local eatery, claims his business license renewal has been delayed for nearly a year because his establishment serves customers affiliated with opposition groups. Similarly, George Chasen, the proprietor of Chasen House, filed a formal complaint stating that his renewal request was postponed after he refused to contribute to Henyard's campaign. Chasen has publicly praised the FBI's investigation, emphasizing the need for accountability and transparency in the management of public funds. These allegations have raised serious questions about the fairness and impartiality of Henyard's administration. As the FBI continues to investigate her suspected misuse of public funds and the alleged political manipulation of business licenses, concerns are mounting over whether political influence has affected the treatment of local businesses. Business owners who believe they have been unfairly targeted have begun publicly questioning the transparency of Henyard's leadership, while local officials who have long opposed her are voicing their concerns about her administration's integrity. The inquiry progresses. Many fear that Henyard's actions may have harmed local businesses and eroded public trust in Dalton's government. Accusations of political favoritism, personal enrichment, and the mismanagement of public resources have led to growing demands for financial transparency and accountability. Residents are increasingly worried that Henyard's leadership has undermined the principles of good governance, fairness, and integrity. At the heart of this controversy is the fundamental question of whether corruption has tainted Henyard's tenure as mayor. With more individuals coming forward and new allegations surfacing, pressure is mounting for her to address these concerns. The investigation is expected to shed light on the inner workings of her administration, and many Dalton residents are hopeful that it will bring clarity and accountability. As accusations continue to surface and public skepticism grows, Henyard's administration remains under intense scrutiny. Dalton residents and business owners are beginning to wonder whether her leadership has been compromised by personal interests and political maneuvering. Any new revelations could further intensify calls for accountability and transparency. With the scandal escalating, Henyard's political career and the future of her administration are at stake.
FBI would said it is policy for the agency not to comment on the nature, existence, or non-existence of any investigation that may be occurring. A public relations firm responded on behalf of the mayor, saying neither Henyard or the village of Dalton have received any subpoenas or been contacted by...
For the people of Dalton, Illinois, who have long felt their concerns about corruption, poor management, and a lack of accountability have gone unheard, the FBI's investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration represents a turning point. Henyard's tenure, initially seen as a period of transition, is now engulfed in allegations of embezzlement, misappropriation of public funds, and a growing distrust between local government and its citizens. Residents have voiced concerns about their tax dollars being misused for private interest rather than public welfare. The FBI's involvement has given hope to those seeking transparency and reform in Dalton's government, potentially bridging the divide between the administration and the disillusioned community. Frustration has mounted over extravagant spending, questionable political appointments, and neglect of essential services like fire department contracts and infrastructure repairs. The unchecked use of funds, political favoritism, and disregard for public needs have fueled widespread discontent. The FBI's probe now validates the criticisms long directed at Henyard's administration, marking a pivotal moment for Dalton. Many believe this is an opportunity to break free from cycles of inefficiency, favoritism, and exploitation. The need to restore the town's reputation, financial stability, and integrity in governance is urgent. Henyard's administration has been marred by a lack of transparency, including her controversial expenditures, such as a highly scrutinized trip to Las Vegas in May of last year. The FBI is currently reviewing documentation related to this trip, as well as records connected to Henyard and key members of her administration. These documents could provide crucial insights into alleged financial misconduct and abuse of power. Adding to the controversy, the FBI is also investigating allegations involving Andrew Holmes, a Henyard associate, concerning assault and retaliation against a former aide. These claims suggest that Henyard may have used her position to retaliate against those opposing her administration, further complicating the inquiry. Accusations of politically motivated hiring and retaliatory dismissals have exacerbated public distrust, reinforcing concerns about favoritism and division within the community. Dalton's financial instability remains a significant concern, with at least 19 legal cases involving the town in Cook County and federal court. Reports indicate that Dalton's attorney is considering dropping these lawsuits due to unpaid legal fees, raising questions about the town's financial management under Henyard's leadership. This situation underscores the broader instability and uncertainty gripping the local government. Despite mounting scrutiny, Henyard has resisted calls for an independent investigation into her actions, vetoing proposals to launch a formal inquiry. Critics view this as an attempt to shield herself from accountability, further damaging public trust. The FBI's presence in Dalton has only deepened residents' skepticism, with many believing that Henyard's tenure is nearing its end. The investigation represents more than a legal probe. It is an opportunity for Dalton to demand long-overdue reforms and a return to responsible governance. The people of Dalton are increasingly vocal about their desire for a government that prioritizes transparency, financial responsibility, and fairness. Many see this as a chance to reject the corrupt practices of the past and embrace a new era of accountability. Residents are committed to ensuring that future leadership serves the entire community, rather than catering to a privileged few. The stakes are high, but there is growing optimism that Dalton can emerge stronger, more united, and better equipped to tackle future challenges. For the first time in years, the community shares a common goal: a government that truly works for its people. If the investigation results in accountability, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter where political favoritism and corruption are no longer tolerated, and leadership is defined by its dedication to public service. As the FBI's inquiry continues, residents remain steadfast in their pursuit of justice, determined to rebuild their town on principles of integrity and fairness.